The Thunderbird begins with a modular starter, expanding into a super spacious core with retakes and 2 exits. Then the base gets wall stacked on all 6 sides. Building the externals early prevents griefing. When that's done, scale up the starter with early game defences including breach peaks, respawns and 3 separate roof bunkers. Next comes the compound, complete with a mini China wall, gatehouses, funnel bedrooms and excellent turret coverage. After that, the open core gets built, with 9 loot rooms and plenty of peaks. Then finish off the top floor with 3 more roof bunkers and extend the mobility chutes with one-way retakes. Then the shooting floor goes up with superb angles in and around the compound, wrapping around the whole base with no blind spots. And finally, the roof gets constructed with even more angles of defense, respawns, drop downs and great turret coverage. Welcome to the tour of the Thunderbird, the perfect base for an 8 to 12 man. Each of the 3 gatehouses have an airlock going in, with visibility outside to prevent door campers. They also have retakes on either side looking back behind the furnace wall. Above each gatehouse we have a single turret, which is designed to have great coverage around the compound, protected by chain link so it costs 1 more HV to destroy. In front of each entrance we also have some drop boxes, so you can deposit your loot quickly and get back out into the action. On either side we have some bedrooms, which have retakes that look directly at each gatehouse. There are 6 of these bedrooms in total around the outside of the base, and they get built early on in the tutorial, so you can easily defend your base in its primary stages. Going outside of the mini China wall through this double door, we have the furnace wall. We place the furnace as high as possible with no gaps on either side, so if raiders go through the compound walls, they need to destroy the furnace to get any further into the compound, and will then get caught up in the turrets. As you can see, the compound walls are easy to put back, and the large furnace can be replaced from inside the compound if needed. The bedroom modules are funneled with shotgun traps to prevent raiders from gaining full control of your compound. There are 3 modules like this in total, each with 4 beds in, and retakes across the gatehouse entrance and behind the furnace wall. The 2 separate bedrooms are linked together through this breach peak, which gives you angles outside of the compound. Here's the other bedroom, which looks exactly the same, making a total of 24 beds in the compound if needed. In the middle of the module there's a battery, and above that we have a turret, which is protected from HVs with chain link. Obviously you can add more turrets if you're playing modded or you're on console. Going back through the other side of the funnel and through this double door leads into the mini China wall, where we have retakes looking back through these double doors into the funnel, and the same again on this side, and breach peaks in the centre for more angles. This is repeated on all 3 sides. Now I'll enter the base itself through these double doors. Going into the base through one of 3 entrances, we have breach peaks looking outside, along with retakes giving you great angles across the 2nd floor mobility ring. We have the same again on this side to give you complete coverage. These chutes go up and down the side of the base to access outside, this floor, the shooting floor and the roof. Around the mobility ring we also have 6 breach peaks like this, which look down and around into the compound. These are great for early game defense, and are mirrored on all 3 sides to give you great coverage. And in between each one we have 3 bedrooms, each with 2 beds inside. These have more angles down and around the compound, and a retake that covers the mobility chute and the ring. Next to each bedroom you'll also find a roof bunker. Place a triangle roof piece here to access the loot inside. There are 3 of these in total around the ground floor, perfect for protecting your loot against an offline early game, as they're built in the first few stages of the tutorial. There are 3 more bunkers upstairs, but we'll get to those later. Enter the 2nd floor through the single door. In here we have some more respawns along with retakes out into the mobility ring. These will also be useful early game for taking down door campers. To enter the core of the base, go through this entrance. If any raiders manage to get in here, we've got a retake looking back in, which can be sealed with garage doors when you're offline. The core is really spacious to give you great quality of life, and there's a retake here to overlook the drop down. There's more than enough space here to get you started, with loads of room for bags and boxes. The TC can be found in this corner, and here's the upkeep. But if you feel this starter's too big for your team, then visit my Discord in the description for an alternate version. It's faster to put down, but not as nice to live out of. There's also a secondary exit which goes out to one of the mobility chutes. If you really want to, you can block this off. As you can see here, the mobility chutes go up and down the side of the base. Use these low wall retakes if we're moving down from the top floor to the mobility ring. There are also single door retakes into each floor in case the chute becomes compromised. There are also retakes into the shooting floor, but we'll look at those later. To enter the open core of the base, go through this single door, where you'll find a bedroom right next to this retake. Access the open core itself by jumping up the chute, through these garage doors and the armoured double door. In here we have 9 large loot rooms coupled with 3 smaller loot rooms. There's also loot storage in the floor for a total of 60 boxes altogether, so your team should never run out of loot space, but if you want to, you could replace some of them with electric furnaces. And above each large loot room we have peaks looking back into the open core. Go back to the chute to access the floor above. Up here we have about 15 beds for respawns. And from the beds you can see we have really nice angles back into the open core, along with some one-way retakes into the shooting floor and back into the entrance too. And below the embrasure we have hidden lockers. Do the same again on this side with peeks into the open core and more retakes. In the centre here you'll find more beds coupled with lockers and batteries. And around the outside we have 3 more roof bunkers. That's a total of 6 altogether, 3 on the ground floor and 3 on the 5th floor. These are also protected from above from MLRS. Going back over to the mobility chutes, you'll see that the retakes are multifunctional. They can also be used to look back into the respawn room or out to the shooting floor, but you should seal them with glass windows to prevent raiders from using them against you. Next I'll show you the shooting floor, which has offset peaks on all sides. These have tighter angles than wide gaps, so it's more difficult for raiders to see you. They're also faster and easier to build, while giving the same great angles around the compound and into the surrounding area, and they'll still stay up even when the base is getting pummeled. You can also use the roof for some more angles and retakes onto the roof of the base itself. The shooting floor wraps around the entire 5th floor of the base and has 3 entrances back to the chutes. Going up the left of the chute we can retake the roof of the base through these one-way retakes. And going through the right we can access the roof and retake it too. In the centre I left space to park a scrap helicopter, and here you can see how good the one-way retakes are. If any raiders or grubs are on the roof, there's nowhere that they can see you. There are 3 roof exits in total with breach peaks between them, and the roof is covered by 6 turrets, which cover all angles with no blind spots. Going out through the 2 double doors we have some respawns and some simple roof peaks. There are 6 bedrooms in total, each with 2 beds, and some nice angles like this around the outside. All of these peaks are mirrored on all 3 sides of the base, including these roof peaks which take advantage of the Brutalist skin, which is definitely worth purchasing. And here we have the other bedrooms which have some nice angles outside. Use these single door drop downs to get down to the compound quickly. From here you can choose to jump safely down into the mini China wall or outside of the compound. Lastly I'm going to show you the upkeep of the externals. There are 6 in total and they're all bunkered, which makes them at least 15 rockets to grief. But as they can be tricky to build for new players, I'll just show you how to build some simple externals in the tutorial. If you want to build these bunkered ones, visit my Discord for a separate video. I highly recommend learning how to bunker them, as it can save your base from getting TC griefed. Next on screen you can see the footprint, the build cost and the upkeep, which is to be expected for a base of this size. If you want to get a better look at the base, remember you can load it on Rusticated build servers using the code in the description, and if you need any help building it, contact me in the Discord. Start off the build with a single square foundation and put 3 walls around it. Put a double door on one side, then the ceiling, and put your TC in the right hand corner, and of course remember to lock it. Then expand the starter with 2 triangles and a square. Put walls in these slots, and a double door here. Put down the ceilings, then more doors here. You can use the second square for bags early game. To put a shelf in the TC room, go outside. Place a foundation here, a half wall and a triangle. Then place another triangle through the wall. Expand the footprint further with a square, a triangle and another square. Put walls on either side and a wood wall in the middle which will swap out for the retake later. And put double doors here. When the starter's finished, put doors in these slots too. You don't need them right now. Then on the left hand side, put 2 more triangles and 2 more squares. Wrap this square in walls, put a single door on the left, 2 more walls and then a double door. You don't have to build the single door entrance if you don't want to, but a secondary exit from the core will help you out in a raid defense. Use a double door here for an airlock. And in this square you could put a loot room or deployables. Then go over to the right hand side, put down a square here, and a wall on the right, then a frame in the ceiling slot, and a window. Then put 2 more triangles here, and 2 squares. Wrap both squares in walls, then build the ceiling, and then shelves in each one. If you want to, you can make the shelves wood, so you can soft side them out later and use them as bedrooms instead. It's up to you. To finish off the roof entrance, soft side this wood wall and replace it with a half wall and a low wall. Once you have garage doors, build a floor as a jump up. If you don't have them yet, then use some stairs or a deployable. Then build walls in these slots, and a ceiling, and a door. On the left of that, build 2 half walls, remove the first one and replace it with the low wall. Then build 2 full walls, and do the same on this side. On the 2 remaining triangles, on the right, put a low wall and a half wall, and a single door on the left. Then seal in the roof. Next, put a wall in this slot, making sure the hard side is facing you. Put down some more single doors, and a floor at half height, and a window. Finish it off with an abrasure and some glass. Then do the same again on this side. And then the same again here. Now you can put a shelf in the middle of the drop down and put some more garage doors here. At this point, the starter will look like this. Next, build modules like this on all 3 sides. These will form the bunkers later. Make sure the frame is rotated so it shows this conditional. Do the same again on all 3 sides. Then put floor pieces in all these gaps. Next, we'll wall stack the base. From the bunker module, build a triangle, then build out by 7 squares. On the last square, put a triangle. Then remove all the build out, and build back with 4 half moons, like so. Upgrade these last 2 triangles, and then remove the entire build out. Extend the footprint with a square, a triangle on either side, then another square. Now build out with 2 more squares and a triangle. For the external TC, build out by a triangle and 3 squares. Then build 3 triangles for the external housing. Remember to put 2 half walls here and seal in the external TC. If you want to bunker these externals, remember to visit my Discord. Next, on this triangle, place a single door frame and connect it to the external with frames like so. To disconnect the TC when your main TC gets raided, just place a foundation and a roof piece. When you've replaced the main TC, reconnect the frames. Repeat these steps on the other 3 sides of the base so it's symmetrical. Next, we'll wall stack the base on these sides. First place a triangle, and then build up by 8 squares this time. Then put a triangle on the last square. Remove the build out. And from this triangle, build back in with 4 half moons. And put a square on the end. Upgrade the square and place a triangle on either side. You can also upgrade these 3 triangles and remove the rest. Then from here, place a raised triangle, a square, then 5 more lowered triangles, and 1 raised one in the middle. If you can't place the raised foundations because of the terrain, then you can just use a low one with half walls. Now the module should look like this. To connect it to an external, you have to build up by 4 squares if you're on console. Then you can build the external housing like this, just as we did before. But if you're on PC, just build up by 2 squares, then 3 triangles like so. Upgrade the 3 triangles and place your TC on the last one. Then put a full wall here, 2 half walls facing the base, and a single door here. To connect it to the base, place down a frame here, then 2 square frames. To disconnect the external TC, place a foundation here, and then a roof piece. And to reconnect, just remove them and replace the frame. Here's an aerial shot of how this module should look so far. Repeat this step on the other 2 sides of the base so you have 6 externals. Now we're going to make the base more defendable. First put a double door here in front of the secondary core entrance, then on the other slots put a full wall. Next on this square and double triangle module, we're going to place 2 more foundations like so, making sure they're lowered, a square on either side, then place 2 frames in these slots, ramps on the squares, and square frames above the wall frames. These parts have to be built now. Then put down 4 half walls and put windows on top of them. Pay close attention to the direction of the soft side. This will close any gaps caused by the wall stacking. Then place a ceiling and roofs on either side. Jump up, place a full wall here, half walls on the outside and low walls on the inside. Triangle frames above the half walls, and then a square in the middle. Put a triangle floor on both sides too, with a door frame on one side, and a single door on the other. Put a low wall down here to finish it off. At this point, this module will look like this. Repeat these steps on the other 3 sides of the base. Now we'll build the other modules on these sections. Start off by building the bedrooms and place 2 full walls, a double door on the right, a ceiling, and a window piece. Do the same on this side. Then put a full wall here, and a twig roof to jump up on. After that, place down 2 triangle floors, open the bunker with a triangle roof, and place a frame here, making sure it attaches to the triangle that you're standing on. If you're having trouble doing this, you can try from this angle, or this angle. If you don't do this correctly, you'll break the bunker. So double check that it works. Then put a full wall on the right and the left, and a double door frame in the middle. Next, put a window in this slot, and build a half floor to the right of the window. Then put triangle ceilings down, and 2 double doors. Then put a frame here, and a single door. Jump up and place a wall here, a triangle floor, and a double door. At this point, this module should look like this. Build this again on all 3 sides. When you've done that, place down triangle pieces here, and then build the breech beaks with half walls, windows above them, a square frame here, and a roof piece, making sure it attaches to the right slot. Then seal in the top with a floor and a low wall. This will act as an early game peak. Now do the same on the other side of the bedroom. Oh, and remember to put a full wall on the right here. Do this on all 6 sides so you have 6 breach beaks in total. Then fill in the mobility ring with frames. And then seal in the top. As you can see, the breach beaks will also act as early game retakes. They'll be sealed later when we build the open core. When you're happy with that, move over to the mobility chutes. Place down 2 full walls like this and a triangle floor to seal in the retake. Then do the same with the jump up. Build a triangle floor at half height for the jump up and don't seal in the top so we can extend it up later. Do this again on all 3 sides of the base. Now we can build the compound loot room and the bedroom above it. Put down 2 full walls and a ceiling. Then a half height shelf and ramps and a door. And to the right, place a floor at half height, a floor above it, a half wall and a low wall. Do the same on this side. Above that, build the bedroom with triangle frames on either side, then windows all around. When completed, this module will look like this. Repeat these steps again on the other sides of the base, so it's symmetrical. Next we'll build the gatehouses so we can seal the compound. Start off by placing 4 foundations on either side. These ones here can be wood. Then put down 3 windows. Above the airlock, build a triangle. Then 3 half walls. And the ceiling. Now build half walls in these slots, followed by low walls on the wood triangles. Then 2 triangle floors and a window. Do the same on this side. Then build the ceiling and a double door. On either side, put down a wall frame with chain link and a ceiling above it. These parts can stay wood as they just cover the turret, and the chain link in the frame is weaker than the wood. Repeat these steps again on all 3 sides to make 3 gatehouses. Next we'll build the bedrooms. On both sides, put down a triangle, a square, and 2 more triangles like so. Then on the square, place down 2 full walls, 2 low walls on the triangle, and a half wall here, followed by 2 triangle floors and a window piece. You could put a double door on the bedroom itself if you want to. Do the same on this side. When that's done, add a low wall on top of each bedroom. Then put frames on the outside like so. These can stay wood. After that, place down your embrasures, 3 triangle ceilings above the breach beak, triangle roof pieces, then put frames in these slots. Place down triangle ceilings all above. Then in the middle we'll build our battery compartment. Place down 2 full walls and a double door frame with a garage door. Then on top of the module, place down 2 full walls, then 2 triangle ceilings on either side. In the center, put down 2 half walls and another triangle floor. This will give the turret better angles. Don't forget to put down your wall frames with a chain link. And repeat these steps on all 3 sides so it's symmetrical. Next we'll seal the compound with high external walls. To help you place them, put down a triangle foundation here, and then line yourself up against the second one, but don't place it. Then place your compound walls. Seal in the gap on the other side. and do the same here. Then you can remove these triangles and put down your barricades. After that, we'll finish off the compound and put down the furnace wall. For the mini china wall, put down half walls and windows above them. Then your 2 roof pieces. Then put a window in front of the ramp with a triangle foundation, a half wall on the right, a floor, and a double door. This will make the funnel. Do the same on this side. Then next to the gatehouses, put down a square foundation, a wall on this side, and a double door here. Do the same on this side. When you've repeated these steps on all sides of the base, the compound will look like this. Now we're going to place down the large furnaces for the furnace wall. Stand next to this double door and place the furnace as high as possible, making sure that there's no gaps on either side. Do this again on all 6 sides of the base. Next, we're going to build the open core. Start off by these breach peaks and place 3 half walls on them, making sure that these walls are rotated so the hard side faces you. The last wall placed should actually be upgraded to metal before you seal it in, which we'll be doing in a minute. Repeat these steps on all 6 breach peaks. Now go over to the mobility and place down a full wall, a single door on the right, a ceiling, and a full wall. Now we're going to build the loot rooms, put another full wall on top, then a full wall and a half wall either side of that, remembering to upgrade the half wall behind it on the breach peak before so. Then put 2 full walls on either side, and 4 full walls in the middle. On either side, build a half wall, 2 low walls in front of that, and 2 triangle floors. You can put boxes underneath these. Then put down wall frames and ceilings, ramps in the floor. Then to build a shelf in here, put down 2 square floors and 2 triangle floors through the wall. Then replace the square with the triangle and put another triangle above that. Put down your garage doors and build low walls above each loot room. Remove these triangle floors from the back of the loot rooms and put stone triangles in these slots. Repeat these steps on the other 2 sides of the base so that it's symmetrical. Next, in the center, place down 3 half walls and a floor, followed by ramps in the floor. You may need to remove deployables underneath to place these ramps, then put a triangle floor in each slot here. After that, in this mobility chute, put down a frame and a half wall, then put the bedroom here with 3 full walls and a ceiling, and put down a triangle floor and a frame here. If you feel you don't need this bedroom, you can build a full wall for slightly higher raid cost into the open core. Then put down a half wall and a window here, followed by a triangle roof piece. Jump up and put down 3 full walls. And then we can build the loot room with a half wall on the right and 3 triangle floors, and 3 triangle floors above that. Jump up and place down 2 triangle ceilings and a frame. Then connect a triangle floor to the window and put a half wall above that. Then a full wall here. Build a half height shelf here and a full wall so you can place this triangle here too. And then fill it with the frame. After that, you can build the ceiling. Before you place a half wall on the left, place your embrasure. Then put a wall frame in these two slots. To build one more garage door on the path to the open core, you have to temporarily put a half wall here, jump up, place your wall frame in this slot, which you have to look down to do, and then remove the half wall after that. Finish it off with garage doors. This one should face inwards to seal the slot in the top. And when finished, it will look like this. Repeat these steps on the other two sides of the base so it's symmetrical. To seal it in the top of the open core, place square frames in these slots above the loot rooms, and put a triangle in this slot between them too. Do this all around the base. Then seal in the open core like so. After that, put a window behind the loot room, and do the same here. In between them, put a double door, then put windows with the hard side facing you above these windows. Do that on all three sides of the base. Next we'll build our 5th floor bunkers with 3 walls at the back, triangle ceilings above, a full wall here, then build your triangle shelf, and put another full wall down. Then you can put a garage door here, open the bunker, then put down 3 triangle floors above it, making sure that they attach correctly so the bunker still opens and closes. Do this again on all 3 sides of the base. Next we're going to put wall frames in these slots. You can put garage doors in them if you want to. Then seal in the top with floors. In the center of the base, put a wall frame on the square and full walls on the triangles. Then finish the ceiling off. And put single doors on each triangle for batteries and lockers. If you want to, you can put more frames down here, but it's not really necessary. At this point, the base will look like this. Next, we're going to extend the mobility on all 3 sides. Put down full walls in all of these locations. And now we're going to place our hidden lockers. But don't put them too close to the wall, otherwise they won't work. Make sure that you test them before sealing them in. And you should also lock them as well. Put a ceiling on this square, then a half wall. Make sure it's rotated so the hard side faces you to seal gaps, and a window above it. Next we're going to put a floor in this slot, making sure it attaches to the window on the left so you can still access the locker. Again, you should definitely test this. Then put down a half wall and a window. Then put a frame and a floor in these slots, followed by a single door frame and a ceiling on top. Now do the same on this side with a half wall and a window, making sure the half wall is rotated with the hard side facing you. Then another half wall and a window here. But don't forget the floor above the locker, which should attach to the window furthest away from you. Then put another window and a frame on it. Half floor for a jump up and your garage door. Then go over to the far side square, place down 2 wall frames and a ceiling, followed by another window here. Another floor in the middle, followed by a window. Then put another window here, and a jump up with a frame, and an exit onto the shooting floor. And here put another window, Repeat this on the other side with 2 frames and a ceiling. Then another window here. And put another floor above the single door retake. Then a window here. But don't forget the floor on top. And there should also be one in the middle, which I forgot to place. But I'm sure you'll get the idea. Lastly, put windows on either side here, followed by double doors on both sides of the roof exit. Then a half wall above the retake. A single door here, with a floor on top. Then on this side, finish off the jump up with a half wall, a ceiling, and a garage door. When completed, this section should look like this. As always, repeat these steps on all 3 sides so the base is symmetrical. This section was a little bit confusing because of all the retakes, but remember you can always rewatch it and slow down the video if you're at all lost. Next, we're going to build the shooting floor. Start off by the mini China wall and add 2 frames in these slots. For the front here, add a half wall and then 2 more frames. Then above the window, add 2 frames here and 3 frames next to it. Do this again on the other side. Then add 2 more frames above the funnel doors. Then in front of this breech peak, add 3 frames to the sides and 2 frames above this garage door. Add a square frame here too. When finished, it will look like this. Repeat these steps on the other side of the base. On the sides with the gatehouses, add 2 frames above these peaks. Next to the bedroom, add a frame, a half wall, and then 2 more frames. Do the same on this side. Then on the window, add 2 more frames, and again the same on this side. In the centre here, add 2 frames on each side with a half wall, and a frame and a half wall at the front on top of the gatehouse. When finished, it will look like this. After that, on top of the gatehouse, add a half wall, a frame, and a roof. These parts can stay wood, as they're just for the drop downs. As you have 6 of them, it doesn't matter if they're destroyed, as you obviously won't be dropping down from where they're raiding. Repeat these steps on the other sides of the base as always. Now on top of the base, add 2 more frames either side here, and 3 triangle floors. On the right and the left, add a window piece, and then a square floor. And on the section in front, add 3 frames. Use a twig triangle to help you place them. Then extend the frames up to this floor. Next, add a window in front of you, and one on the left and right. Then put a frame on both sides, and fill in the ceiling with triangle floors. Then on this side, add another frame, a square floor, and build up these frames by 2 floors. Then put a window down. Then add 2 more frames on the left here, a window piece, the floor, then add a square floor here. It's important that this triangle floor attaches to the square in front of you, so the gap is in this location. If not done correctly, then you'll have trouble finishing the roof. Now do the same again on this side. Again, make sure this triangle is attached correctly to the square in front of you. At this point, this section will look like this. Do the same on all 3 sides of the base. Now we can extend these sections. Start off on top of the bedroom, Add a triangle floor here to stand on, then 2 frames. Then add a wood roof here, and do the same on this side. Then in the middle here, add 3 wall frames. Then wall frames to the left and right, and in the middle here. Next, stand here and add 3 triangle floors attaching to the base. In the front of you, extend these wall frames up. You may have to move around to get the right angle. Then put windows on top of them. And after that, put a stone frame on either side attaching to the wall frame. Then finish it off with 2 more windows. In the center here, put a roof piece. Then fill in the ceiling. And put a low wall here for the retake. Remember to place this embrasure before the roof piece. At this point, the section will look like this. To finish it off, put a triangle floor here when on the roof, and a window frame in a slot. Then put a square frame in between. Then from inside the shooting floor, place a roof piece. You could put a square grille in the frame if you want to, but it has to be done from this angle, which can be quite awkward, so you can't place it from here. Repeat these steps again on the other 2 sides of the base. And finally, we can finish the roof. Start off by these retakes and build the bedrooms with windows and a floor and a double door. Now I'll show you how you can place drop boxes in the window piece. First place your beds, then some wooden shutters, and place your drop boxes like so. Remove the shutter and replace it with a embrasure and a window. Next we'll build the drop downs. Put a full wood wall here with a triangle roof on top of it. You may have to move around to get the right angle. Then place a wooden single door here. Again, these pieces can just stay wood as they're not structural. On the side of this peak here, you can add another window. Do the same here too. On top of the bedroom, we're going to put our turret pod. Build 3 frames, then 3 half walls and a ceiling. Put a turret here, and at the front build a half wall and then a floating frame. Place chain link all around. On top of this, you can put the windmill. Use low walls to make it look prettier. Repeat these steps on all sides of the base. Now we can build up these modules. Extend the frames up, then put a square floor, and build 2 roof pieces. Put square roofs on top of these windows. Then build another bedroom. On top of the bedroom, we're going to build another turret pod. Put 3 frames, then a triangle floor piece here, and a square frame between the frames. Put low walls all around, then put on your ceilings. You could place the turret later if you want to. Then put roof pieces in these slots. The middle one might be a bit awkward to place, just try from different angles. Next, place a triangle frame here with 2 triangle roofs and a single door. Do the same on this side. When completed, this section will look like this. Remember to put chain link in these slots. Repeat these steps on the other two sides of the base. Lastly, build the breech peak here, with half walls and windows on top. You could put a triangle floor here if you want space for another turret. And then in these slots, put half walls. These can stay wood if you want them to. Do the same on all sides of the base. Now to add one finishing touch, we need roof pieces on top of these doors in the compound. These will help you drop down safely. And the base is done. If you made it this far into the video, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the base. I hope it serves you well, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.